stars on the way I vibe when I walk into the room.
I'm trying to point one of them out to get to 29, so I'm just gonna go around the block. Since starting my run across the US, I have witnessed a huge lack of awareness when it comes to the plastic pollution problem. I have therefore made it my mission to focus on education and to meet with a diverse range of people, from school children to politicians, with the hope that they will be inspired to live more sustainably. In Columbus, Ohio, hosted some great events and met a lot of local initiatives here in Columbus to see how sustainable Columbus really is. And we were amazed to see that it's actually a really green city. In the City Hall of Columbus, Ohio, about to meet with Councilman Remy, who's very active in the sustainable field here in Ohio.
Hey, welcome.
Hi.
Good to see you again.
Yeah, good to see you too.
It's a real pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
We sponsored a litter mascot campaign with our schools. This is Scarlet, the litter cardinal. And we're actually having this built out now, and we're going to use this to get into our schools, because we find that when we talk about recycling, especially in some of our opportunity areas, starting with the kids so that they go home and kind of shame the parents, what they learned during the day, has been our most effective effort in raising awareness and education about recycling.
So we're here in Indianapolis. We just arrived yesterday and we have a busy day of presenting in front of elementary schools and meeting nonprofits. We're here at the Center for Inquiry School, and one of the reasons I love speaking to school children is because of how engaged and receptive they are to the message.
Past half a dozen years, we've really focused on the idea of having young people get engaged in climate action. Pretty sure Indiana has the most number of cities where climate policy has been passed with young people leading the way.
Just crossed the Mississippi, officially west of the Big Muddy. Today is day 59 of the expedition. We're here in St. Louis, Missouri. We're 12 miles away from marking the first 1,000 miles of this run across America. We'll now be in Missouri for 3 weeks, running from St. Louis all the way to Kansas City. There's so many ways that we can educate people about the effects of plastic, one of them being art. I got invited by the St. Louis Aquarium to find out how they're using art to challenge people to think differently about single-use plastic items and the importance of protecting our waterways.
I do art installations using recycled materials. We're here in St. Louis building an art installation for the St. Louis Aquarium. We're turning basically trash into something that's going to look really cool, providing that narrative that we can also talk about just sort of the impact of the plastics on ocean aquatic environments, and hopefully this will inspire more people to both use less plastic in their day-to-day lives, but also consider recycling more of their products.
It is so important that we start to pay attention to this issue. I've spent countless hours speaking to thousands of people, many of them children, and it is so sad to think about just how negatively their futures could be impacted if we don't act now.
This can inspire more people to do trash cleanups.
All the plastic that we throw away, we can put it into recycling.
I think what we can simply do is just think about what we're throwing away before we throw it away.
A couple of the kids afterwards, they were just talking a mile a minute about wanting to go plogging.
Sam's doing the same thing. He's affecting people by coming in, being a good person and giving you guys information, perspective that you guys didn't see, raising awareness and trying to expand your mind, right? Because how many of you guys thought pollution was this bad?
It's only right for us to try and give back to the community, and we're not really thinking, we're just kind of acting, and we don't realize that the actions that we do here could be hurting people around the world.
I think it's important to save the oceans because a lot of animals are living there and they're getting plastic in their stomachs and they're dying.
I think it's important to save the oceans because sooner or later we're going to have more plastic in the ocean than fish, and that's just not right.
And I think what Sam is doing is incredible. I believe it takes so much courage for somebody to have the passion and love for something. I hope whatever he does, he's successful at it, because people don't realize how big of an impact he's going to have on the world.
America is such a diverse country. It's a melting pot of people from all walks of life. Everybody needs to hear this message, and this is why I've tried to interact with a diverse range of people. To get the word out about this run, I've also turned to different types of media. It's a great way of meeting a lot of local communities, running through 13 U.S. states, talking about the problem.
He was just about to begin, and as of right now, he has run over 1,000 miles of the 3,100 miles that it takes to get to the other coast.
So I'm in St. Louis, Missouri, on my way to Kansas City, which I should be there in 2 weeks. It's about 300 miles away. So it's day 74, we're out here in Missouri. There's nothing out here but cornfields and farms. It's a hot day, but let's get it.